Hello, 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 hello. This is Lasandra Brooks, aka your girl Lala with the LG Effect. I want to thank you so much for joining me again on today for another episode of the LG. Listen, before we get started, y'all already know how it goes down. So I am going to need for you to go and get your favorite beverage of choice. That may be water, it may be juice, coffee, or tea, or perhaps the favorite turtle mocha sippy. I am sipping on some Southern iced tea again on today. We are sipping and we are talking about being a repairer of the breach. What are you saying, Lala? I am simply saying we are to repair any broken, meaningful relationships. I was thinking earlier today because, of course, we're in COVID, but this is the first time that I actually went out to a restaurant to celebrate one of my friends' birthday. And it was just three of us there, of course, practicing social distancing and just listening to the conversation and observation and reminiscing about our past and how we just enjoy one another's company. And I reflected all the way home. I'm the type of person that loves deep. I love hard. When I say I love you, oh, you better believe I love you. And there is nothing that I would not do for you. We are sipping and talking about repairing the breach. With that being said, we have some broken relationships. We have relationships that we have had and been a part of our lives for years and years. And for some reason, there has been a breaking. There has been a breach. There has been a separation. Simply, that's what a breach is. It's a separation. It's a cutoff. It's a breaking. It's a disconnect. And I know society and the times that we live in, we're busy. And it's easy to get farther and farther away. It's easy to disconnect, but when your roots are grounded, when your roots are deep, if you ever seen roots like after a storm or something and a tree is toppled over and you're able to see the roots, the root, the underground system of a tree, a massive tree is amazing. Those roots go feet, quite a few feet down in the ground, as even the length of the tree. So if the tree is 10 feet tall, then you got 10 feet roots. It's equal to, because it grounds the tree. And it takes a lot when you're grounded and you're rooted in a system. It's not easily broken. But in the event, because storms do come and trees are toppled over, things happen in relationships, things happen in situations. You may move away, you may have a disagreement, but eventually you kind of find yourself back together. In repairing the breach, it's hard. I will not tell you that it is easy. It takes really two parties, because if we just say we had a disagreement, we had a big fallout, and both of us are stubborn as mules. We are stubborn. We are not trying to say I'm sorry. No one is trying to take ownership of their mistakes. But I've told you guys, listen, since day one, we sipping and we talking. I've told you since day one that I'm transparent. I will always be transparent. And if I've said it, I will own up to it. If I did it, I will say, hey, that was me. I'm guilty as charged. And because of the fact that I love so deep and that my roots are deep, I may let stuff slide for long periods of time. But when I let loose, I let loose. And then after I let loose and time passes, I realize I valued the relationship. I valued my friend, or whatever relationship. It could be a business partnership. Whatever your relationship or whatever your connection is, if your desire is to make it work, if it's worth making it work, I encourage you to go the extra mile. I encourage you to go the distance, to get and to do whatever it takes to mend the breach, to repair the breach, to bring the connection back together. Once was close together, and we have allowed something to pull us apart. Find something, common denominator, friendship, something, whatever, to allow us to slowly come back together. And I was just thinking how wonderful friends that I have, that through the years we've had disagreements, we've had some disappointments, we've had some heartaches, we've had some setbacks, we've had just from me moving from one state, them moving around, but we always came back together. Nowadays, friends are hard to come by. You can't call everyone friend. We are sipping and we're talking. You cannot call everyone friend these days, because these friends that they have characterized this day and age and time, baby, will stab you in the back in a heartbeat and will not think twice about it. Misuse and abuse you and will not, and dare you to even accuse them or ask them for an apology. Who does that? I mean, really, who does that? So if you will have a genuine friend, people, please do everything you can to hold on to that friendship. Do everything you can to hold on to that relationship. Do everything you can to maintain that friendship, that relationship, because they are not easy to come by these days and time. I'm telling you from experience. I'm telling you from what I know, not from what somebody told me. Not from what somebody said, from my own personal experience. I had to send a text message. I'm not going to go deep into it, but I apologized to someone this morning. And I wrote a lengthy text message. So I figured they probably didn't want to talk to me. I know it was not a man. It was a female. And I expressed, hey, I don't know what happened. Long story short, I don't know what happened. But if I've made you feel any way towards me besides love, I apologize. If I made you feel anything outside of love for me, please, please, please forgive me. I'm doing everything I know to do to bridge the gap. I'm doing everything I know to do to try to be a repairer of the breach. Because at the end of the day, I need to be able to lay down and sleep at night. I don't need to be frustrated. I don't need to wonder, what have I done to hurt you? If I've hurt you, did I damage you? Did I wound you? What did I do? Let's get it corrected. And the longer, listen to this one right here. Because we're sipping and we're talking. The longer you wait to put that thing off, the longer you wait to settle the issue, it's going to be just that much difficult. Get on top of it while things are still fresh, where you can hash things out, where you can talk things out, where you can see what you can do to mend the breach. Because when something is broken, it's in disrepair, it's separated, there is division. Just like with anything, when it grows old, it starts to rot. Things start to fester in our spirits, in our mind. So as it is in the natural, it is in the spirit. So we can look at a house, an abandoned house, say, and parts of the roof may be caving in or falling in. If you go ahead and repair that in the beginning, in the early stages of it, it's not quite as bad. But if you allow more rain, more wind, the inclements, the things in the weather to beat up on the roof, it's going to start to deteriorate even more. The wood will suffer from water damage, sun damage, perhaps rodents or some type of other animals or birds or whatever may be crawling inside and chipping away at different things. Now it's going to be a little bit more work to get that repaired. You're going to have to put a little bit more energy in getting that prepared. Not saying it's not doable, but it's just going to take a little bit more application, a little bit more muscle, a little bit more strength, a little bit more willpower. You're going to have to work at it a little bit harder. It's going to require a lot more sweat equity. But it can be beneficial because guess what? When you repair the breach, it becomes whole again. When you repair the breach, it becomes usable. It is now attached. It's connected once again, and it serves a purpose. But if you do not repair it, how can you cross over on the other side? Take a bridge for an example. If the bridge collapses in the middle, there's been a breach because there's a separation, there's a disconnect. It's not connected any longer. Therefore, you cannot get from one side to the other without the bridge being repaired. Be a repairer of the breach. Yes, they may have wronged you. Yes, they may have been the violator. They may have been the culprit. They may have been the person that violated your trust. You shared something with them and it violated them, your trust. And it may have hurt, it may have cut you to the core. But be the bigger person. What is it worth? Count up the cost. What is it worth to you? If you said this person has been your ride or die, this has been the person that you have stood with, that you have gone through the fire with, and you mean to tell me you're going to let a simple disagreement cause your relationship to be severed and y'all go y'all separate ways and never talk again? Is it worth it? Ask yourself that question. We are sipping and we're talking. Get the courage up to say, let's get together and talk. Via phone call, text, email, something, postcard, letter, however, whatever you need to do to make the connection to see if you can resolve. But again, you can do that But if the person on the receiving end is not willing to come to the table, if they are not willing to talk, if they aren't willing to try to repair the breach, you've only done what you could do. But if the relationship was as solid and as locked as it was supposed to be from the beginning, if everyone loved and if everyone felt the same, they're going to want to come together and get it resolved. We're gonna deal with what we need to deal with. We're going to hash it out, and we are going to repair the breach. If it's possible, if it's worth saving, if it's worth fighting for, I say fight. We sipping and we're talking. I say fight. If it's worth fighting for, baby, go and get it. Put your gloves on and get in the ring. Suit up and get in the ring. Let's hash it out. It's going to end here today. One way or the other. We either going to leave being friends and the breach has been repaired, or we will leave the same way we came, and we just have a better understanding that we are better going opposite directions. Dust your feet and move on. You made an attempt, but don't be so easy to just walk away. Think about it. If there's a way for you to be a repairer of a breach, of a break, of a separation, of a disconnect, I encourage you on today, with everything within you, if it's worth fighting for, if it's worth having, if it's worth being together, if it's worth connecting, reconnecting, then fight for it. Fight, fight, and fight. This is Asandra Brooks, aka your girl Lala. Thank you so much and have a wonderful day.